Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Good to see you all.
Good morning guys, welcome back. And I got Karishma today. We're going to do this video jointly. Basically it may even be two parts because the video has quite a lot of length to it, I guess. So it's a weekend here and we thought let's start. We wanted to address this issue about MBAs. Now Karishma and I are both MBAs from Pune in India, and we're going to talk about our college also, SIMS Pune. A lot of people ask, sir, is it worth it doing an MBA? Is it worthwhile spending the money in this year, 2020, doing an MBA? Should we do US MBA, UK MBA, Indian MBA? We're going to address all those topics in today's vlog.
Sounds like a plan.
So Karishma, you have time, right? Or you're busy today?
There's always time.
Okay, good.
So like Ryan mentioned, both Ryan and I are alumni of SIMS, which is Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies based in Pune. And Ryan graduated in 1999 and I'm a member of the class of 2000. It feels like just yesterday, but it's been, it's been a while. And I think both Ryan and I, we decided to pursue our MBA or Masters in Business Administration just soon after our completion of graduation. So I know some folks like to take a break, do their bachelor's, work for a couple of years, and then pursue masters. But for some reason, both Ryan and I felt like we wanted to kind of finish our studies all in one shot.
So like Karishma mentioned, we both were BSc graduates and decided to get into HR. We both didn't have ambitions of being CEOs or chairmen of companies because we have other things in life to do. But we did pretty well so far. We both have close to 2 decades of corporate experience. Karishma is currently also in a corporate job in a very senior position in a bank. I've done some other things in my life linked to my passion, but I did also about 17, 18 years of corporate experience. So to start with, outright I would say it was totally worth it for us.
Absolutely.
I mean, we would not be sitting in New York or facing New York in an apartment because of anything but our MBA degree. Just a BSc at our time was just about doing nothing basically.
It's reality.
Yeah,
it was reality at that point in time.
Blunt,
Yeah.
Do you think at that time we could have managed with just a BSc degree?
No, and again, I was someone who was interested in pursuing the sciences, but again, at the time that I was around where my passion lie, you gotta pay bills, and I was super clear about that, and I felt like pursuing an MBA really opens up your horizon, and I think it really improves you as a professional as well. It's not only just the subject matter expertise, but just how you carry yourself, how do you conduct yourself. I think those are some of the other pieces that do happen and get further honed through the course of such a program.
See, if you want to work in the corporate world, you have to invest. It's like if you want to fly a plane, you have to get a pilot's license. If you want to drive a car, you have to have a driver's license. If you want to do well in the corporate world with no risk, I think an MBA is a great start, and it gives you a head start because we both joined companies in the Tata Group as management trainees. Which was a head start amongst many others who didn't do MBA. So this is 20 years, maybe things have changed now. But if you're dedicated about being and growing in the corporate world, head HR, head finance, head CEO, chairman, whatever if you want to do that, even if later you want to start your own company, that grounding you get as an MBA pass out will always be awesome.
I wouldn't agree more,
Yeah. So coming to SIMS, Karishma, I wanted to ask you a few specifics about SIMS. So Karishma, tell us something about the guest lecturers, the faculty, the courses that we went through in SIMS, and how did they help you?
So what I liked about SIMS, at least the curriculum when we studied at that time, was it was a great mix of we had dedicated faculty and professors, but we also had a lot of visiting faculty. So these were actually professionals who were working full time, and they would actually come and take specific courses across various semesters. And I thought that was super useful because you got both the academic kind of bedding down in terms of concepts and all that good stuff, but you really got that live experience from practicing professionals. So I personally loved that, and we would have practicing professionals who would take, like I said, a full semester, and some who would just typically come in for a guest lecture. But I think that again, for someone like me who whose folks were not from the business space, my dad was in the army, as you guys know, it was just such a great way of understanding how corporate life really works and how businesses operate and work the kind of skill sets that they need. So I think it was just a great grounding while you were studying to get that exposure.
Okay, I wanted to talk about discipline. The MBA degree that we went to taught us a lot about corporate discipline, how you behave, how you work in a corporate culture, corporate etiquette, being on time, planning your day, planning your meetings, planning your goals, your targets. All this was never taught in our BSc degree, but in a corporate setup, it is so different. If you have a meeting to attend at 9 in the morning, you have to be prepared for it the previous day, you have to ensure you're on time. All these basic things which, the start of your career makes such a big difference. Later in life, you can say I was a strategic thinker, or I grew my business, or I grew my team. But to start, you have to have those basic disciplines, the basic, norms in the corporate world, which only an MBA degree will teach you.
The other unique thing about the way our course was designed in SIMS when we were studying was we had actually classes 7 days a week. And I know now we are in this whole environment of work-life balance and which I love, I think it's awesome. But for someone who was just orienting themselves and uplifting themselves to start their career in business, I felt like those seemed like really long hours and never-ending classes, like day on day on day, I felt like that just gave us such a good discipline and just the ability, as Ryan mentioned before, A, to stay organized, B, to make sure we're on top of things, and C, just get used to just get used to really working hard, right? Because when you then step into a real job, there will be times where we are required to either work long hours or work on very critical projects which have very stern timelines. And I think some of the grounding that we got during our course really helped, at least personally me, I can speak for myself, I think it really helped position some of that when I personally started working, and I'm sure Ryan will feel the same way.
So also, I wanted to talk about once a year they would have these national seminars where all the industry bigwigs and leaders would come and talk to the students, interact, give lectures, take questions. And that was great because, in class you would sometimes switch off with the lectures, but for these seminars, HR seminar, national seminar, you would always ensure that you dress in your suit, you attend the lectures, you go for the seminar, you escort these big people, you get to meet them. So a lot of great, I remember Scott Bayman coming from GE for one of the national seminars, and he was one of the GE leaders. It was a great experience for me. What do you think, Karishma?
No, I absolutely agree. And I think what these seminars also gave us at that time was, we had all these speakers, you mentioned Scott right now, and they were really talking about cutting edge thought processes that were going on in the industry at that point in time. So again, as a newbie student who's just wanting to figure out what's out there, I think it was a great opportunity to learn, and then, like Ryan said, also build those networks, because as you're engaging with these senior leads, you'll also have an opportunity of building those networks. And I know some of the networks that we built helped a lot of us in getting internships and even full-time jobs subsequently.
Yeah, actually, Karishma, if you could touch on the internships a bit, because that really helps you get a feel of actually going to work during your MBA. And you may not get paid much, but the internship teaches you everything at the grassroots level. How did you like your internship?
It was rough, I'll be honest, because and rough in a good way. Like Ryan mentioned, it was my first formal, exposure in a corporate job, and while mentally and academically, theoretically, how your work looks like, but nothing. I mean, being on the job is on the job. So I think that way, getting that experience while I was pursuing my my management course, I think that was fantastic, because it helped you figure out where your strengths are, and then also at least helped me figure out where I needed to focus on. So I think that was a great grounding. So when we finally got placed, like, we weren't making those initial teething mistakes, right? So I think it was great.
The course that we did in SIMS Pune, we at our time, Karishma and I, also parallelly did a labor laws and labor welfare degree from Symbiosis Law College. So the Symbiosis umbrella is huge. There was SIBM, SCM, HRD, SIMS, the Law College, and now there are many more other colleges focusing on IT and computers and everything. But our time there was marketing, finance, HR, and international business. So these were some of the courses we had as options. And Karishma and I both decided to do HR because we feel we are doing pretty well, on the people engagement, the people growth, organizational development. All these kind of subjects were very close to our heart. So we wanted to get into that field, and we have no regrets. We've done very well in our careers, and we're still doing that on a daily basis.
So the key aspect of all of this is, right, the whole journey, whether you're working, whether you're studying, etc., is to land a job at the end of it all, right? So we did want to talk about job placements as well. And one of the things that really drew me to SIMS when I was applying for it was their statement that every student gets placed. So it's literally 100% job placement, and that was something super exciting to me. And I think that really went in our favor. It's a pretty grueling few days when companies come to campus and run their selection processes. Every company, as you know, has its own unique selection process. Some are just one-on-one interviews. Some will do multi-step recruiting selection processes. But all through it all, again, the grounding that you get, what we've touched upon in terms of broader exposure, just making sure that we are very used to running and being organized and being on top of things all the time. I think mentally just gears up just mentally geared up all of us to sit for that placement week, and that is something which I feel was a big plus, because when you graduate and even as you're finishing your last semester, you have an offer in hand and you're all set to start your first step in your corporate career.
We did a lot of case studies, group discussions, everything in those 2 years, and that was what really gives you examples of life and life in the corporate world through these case studies. It talks about what different situations people may have gone through in the past, how did they solution from there, and how did they come out on top. So it helped us learn about corporate world incidents and examples. And I also wanted guys to talk about this whole thing about A grade, B grade, C grade institutes. Of course, an IIM or a IIT combo would be the best for you, right? But only 3% of the ambitious people will get those institutes into Harvard or whatever. What I'm saying is, don't just focus on A grade. Some of the B grade, C grade, D grade also may be very good. It's how you apply your time and your mind. It is what you take away from the MBA. You may be in a college that's ranked 50th or 100th also in whichever country you're living, but it depends how you apply your mind to it, how you make the most of those 2 years, and how you come out on top. So I know a lot of people who are doing so well in the corporate world now. They are CEOs, they are HR heads, they may be from institutes we've never even heard of. And I also know people from Harvard who are sitting jobless now. So it doesn't matter. Just go through the process. Wherever you get in, do your best, you'll do great.
The other thing that Ryan and I did want to mention is that, don't mistake the fact that, hey, I've done my grad, I've finished my post-grad, I'm now an MBA, and that's the end of the road. I've got my job, I'm all set. I think that's just the start of the journey, right? And as you keep progressing in your corporate life or in your career, you always have to keep learning, right? So if I look back and if Ryan looks back to when we started, in terms of what the business environment was, what our role as HR professionals, was at the time we started as management trainees to where it is now, right? So that by itself has evolved. The skill sets have evolved, and as you grow, some of that evolves as well. So I think the key thing that we wanted to share is you always have to keep an open mind, always keep learning, always look out for how you can upskill yourself and really stay current, whether it be from an academic perspective, from a soft skill point of view, or just in terms of just where the industry that you're in is moving. I think it's super important as things change so rapidly and dynamically for you to be able to be super flexible and respond to that, and that way you'll be sure to be current, your skill sets will be current, and you'll continue to be at the top of your game.
Okay, so we kind of thought maybe we'll need 2 parts, but we've crisped it out for you guys. If you guys have any questions or need more clarifications, we can do another Q&A as well as another session on this whole MBA topic. But before we sign out, we want to say a big thumbs up and shout out to SIMS, our college in Pune, SIMS, Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies. Karishma, do you endorse the shout out?
Absolutely, super proud to be an alumni. I think some of our best grounding has been thanks to SIMS, so thank you.
Yes, so I'm sure a lot of SIMSites watch, and I know a lot of you have subscribed to the channel too, because of earlier we shared some videos on LinkedIn which SIMS had shared for us. So yes, please subscribe and share. And definitely we give the thumbs up on an MBA qualification or degree. So go ahead with that if you have the opportunity. If you're financially strong enough, you can do it in the US or UK also. Anything is fine. It depends on you. So with that said, we are going to sign out and go back to our kids and busy work on the weekend. Have a great weekend, guys. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for joining.
Thanks everyone. Have a super and safe weekend, and we'll chat soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.